Good morning, Hong Kong, and welcome back to another episode of Hong Kong Insurance 101. This week, we're looking at whether health insurance in the city is actually worth it. Do you really need to buy a policy in Hong Kong SAR? Well, many new residents of the city are surprised to learn that health insurance here can be an optional purchase. Unlike a country like the USA, Hong Kong residents do not need to have a private health insurance policy. This is due to the fact that the city boasts an effective, efficient, low-cost public healthcare service administered by the hospital authority. However, the city does offer an extensive private healthcare system, which is free to set its own prices in the best practices of the free market. In a stark contrast to the public healthcare system, private facilities are extremely expensive, with some studies suggesting that because of the private medical system, Hong Kong's average cost of healthcare ranks amongst the highest in the world. In fact, Hong Kong is only second to the USA when it comes to the cost of receiving treatment at a private facility. This means that choosing to go to a hospital like the Sanatorium or Adventist can be expensive, especially if you do not have insurance. The low cost and wide accessibility of the public healthcare system means that these services are highly utilized by the general public, which has caused an overdemand on the system as a whole. While you may not pay much to access a public hospital in Hong Kong, you can expect to wait for extended periods of time before receiving your treatment. Whether this is an accident or an emergency room or a scheduled surgery, one of the biggest complaints regarding the public healthcare system in Hong Kong is the waiting period before any care is received by a patient. Having said this, it is important to understand that in the event of any serious medical emergency, many of Hong Kong's private hospitals will transfer patients to public facilities. Major maternity complications at the Matilda, for example, quite often end up at the Queen Mary Hospital in Pok Fu Lam. This is due to the fact that public hospitals are home to some of the best doctors in the city. Queen Mary is a teaching hospital, and these hospitals carry emergency medical supplies, like blood, needed to effectively manage critical situations. Hong Kong's public hospitals are utilitarian affairs. They're often fairly grim and uncomfortable places, run with lengthy rules and regulations that do not make patient comfort a priority. These facilities do the job in a no-frills manner and do it well when treatment is eventually supplied. While outpatient visits can be relatively affordable, having inpatient treatment at a private hospital in Hong Kong can be ruinously expensive without health insurance protection. There is no fundamental need to seek services at Hong Kong's private facilities, but some people prefer to do so. While health insurance is not a mandatory purchase in Hong Kong, health insurance can definitely be worth it if you think you'll be seeking private care at a private facility anytime in the future. That's us for this week. As always, we hope you have a happy and healthy weekend. Remember to like and subscribe to stay current with all our content as it comes out. And don't forget to ask CCW. We're simplifying your insurance.